What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video on SkyPig Gaming.
Another Creepypasta. This took us like 3 times to record. We are not doing this again.
Hopefully we're not doing this again.
I just want to see what happens if you go to Walmart at 4 AM. That's all I want to know.
Anyways, without further fucking ado, let's get into the fucking Creepypasta. God damn, ready when you are.
Please. Okay, never go to Walmart at 4 AM. 3, 2, 1. Oh, I'm asleep by 4 AM, so to hell with that. Don't affect me. No, I don't think we've seen this guy before. Sucky intro.
You've definitely seen him.
I used to work as an overnight stalker for Walmart.
Good
For those of you who are unaware of what a Walmart is, it's pretty much an oversized convenience store,
Right.
selling anything from
what a
clothing to
Walmart
food
is.
to electronics. If you are in need of something, chances are Walmart has it. As many of you are aware of what a stalker is, I suppose I should still explain what it is I did. Basically, whenever you walk into a
Everyone
store and you
knows what a
find
fucking
yourself
stalker is.
mindlessly
That's
glancing over all the various items on the shelves, somebody had to put them there. And that somebody was
Oh,
me.
shit.
It's pretty much cut and dry as far as tasks go. Either you're taking inventory or unloading products from the back. However, for the most part, it's the
Magical.
movement of items from the back housing area to the shelves. For a lot of the youths in the US, working at Walmart is generally a first job location for those who don't wish to dive into the chaos that is fast food service.
Oh, okay. I was gonna
As
say,
for
what about
myself,
fast food
I ended up with the
restaurants?
job after recently getting laid off. The job market was
Why,
rough
what
at the
though?
time, and me needing an immediate source of income, I found a few other options. The job itself was fairly
It's sad to
simple,
say
and the
that.
supervisors were quite lenient on some of the regulations. For example, during my shift, I would be allowed to listen to music on my iPod while I worked. I'd be allowed some
That's
moderate
nice.
breaks. To be honest,
That's
as long
also
as my
good.
section got finished and I wasn't late or belligerent, I was pretty much left alone to do my job. I spent the first few weeks acclimating to my new schedule and surroundings. A lot of time was spent learning the ropes, so to speak. Meeting other coworkers, learning what is expected of me, the ins and outs of taking
Oh, that's not a
inventory, as
photo,
well
it's a
as
video.
proper
It's
stocking
movie.
etiquette. Yes, I said
cool.
stocking etiquette. Such as don't block the
Stocking
aisles,
etiquette?
refrain from leaving
Yep.
boxes strewn
Oh.
about. If a customer is attempting to get an item you are blocking, to move your cart out of
Yep.
the way completely. Apart from learning the
Trust
job,
me,
I found
I've
the
been
toughest
there, done
transition to
that,
be the
worn
hours.
T-shirt.
Working the night shift can be somewhat daunting. Having to wake up when the sun is setting and coming home when the sun is rising takes some getting used to. Now, it's no secret that certain individuals frequently shop at Walmart. Even though customers come in all shapes and sizes, you do get some strange customers from time to time.
Yeah,
From
that's
people
true.
dressed up in outrageous
shit on that one.
costumes to customers not dressed up in, well, anything.
Seen
Hell, in my first week, a rather large gentleman walked up to me wearing nothing but those old school gym shorts. You know, the ones
Oh.
that are far too short for anyone to be wearing legally.
it. Oh.
He then demanded I
my.
tell him where the office supply department is. Why he's seeking the office supply department at 2 o'clock in the morning wearing gym shorts is beyond me.
Okay,
But that's
then.
not what this story's about.
What?
One night,
Okay.
after settling into my routine, I decided to take a much-needed break. Normally, there is a specific area for employees to take breaks, but me being a smoker, I usually took my breaks out
He
back where the
sounds
shipment
like it.
trucks and dumpsters
It's
are.
sad because the narrator sounds
It's
like
not
it.
the greatest of places, but it's quiet and beggars can't be choosers, am I right? I was standing out
I
there,
guess.
enjoying the peace and quiet, watching the light from the single street lamp bounce off the green sludge the dumpsters were leaking, when I saw
Ew.
movement out of the corner of my eye. From where I was standing, there were 2 semi-trucks side by side. I thought I saw someone or something duck between the two when
Dude,
I
you
glanced
probably
over.
Did. I've been in that situation. You
Now,
probably did see
I know
something.
this goes against every horror movie ever made in the history of anything, but I called out to it.
Oh boy. Oh.
Hello? And just like in the movies, nothing
New phone, who
responded.
dis?
My mind first thought about a homeless junkie who was sleeping out back, but didn't want to have
Okay,
the police
clearly
called
you
on him
haven't
for
heard
loitering.
The Blue Man, because if it was
Then
anything
my
like the Blue
imagination
Man,
began
you
to
don't
shift
talk,
to a
idiot.
knife-wielding psychopath waiting for me to walk around that corner and slit my throat.
It's
Once
like my
that thought
mom
popped into my
Right.
head, I
Section
quickly
ever.
noped the hell out and went back inside. I
Noped
went back
the
to
hell
work
out,
and put the whole
really?
experience out of my mind. I put it out so far that I found myself going back outside again for my second break. It was around 4 a.m. and I was heading into the home stretch of my shift. As my hand rested upon the door is when that earlier experience came rushing back to me. After negotiating with myself that my need of nicotine was greater than my need to live, I pushed the door open and stepped outside.
Nicotine?
Yeah, that's what's in cigarettes.
After walking outside, I instantly noticed something was wrong.
Oh. So that's what Panic
The lone
meant
street
when they
lamp
were
from
comparing
before
the
was
girls to
off.
The song Nicotine. Okay.
Now, I had taken my breaks later in my shifts before when the sun was beginning to rise and the light outside would be turned off. But it was
So.
still pitch black outside. What I should have done was turn right back around and go back inside. But, in a moment of tired confusion, I accidentally let the door behind me click shut.
Oh,
It was
God.
one of those external doors that are
Definitely
always locked
locked
from the
out.
outside to prevent thefts. Normally, I would
key or
just prop it
something? You
open,
work
but
there.
in my stupor, I forgot. Hearing
That
that
was my
click, I
door.
felt my heart begin to beat faster.
I thought that was my door.
I tried to calm myself, rationalizing that it was only a 2-minute walk around the building to the front.
See if it was my door.
So I stood there, in the dark,
Sound effects.
the only light emanating from the ember of my cigarette.
Oh, that's fun.
Then I heard something that made the blood drain from my face. Footsteps,
Oh.
coming from the direction of the trucks.
terrifying.
Slowly, I turned to look over in that direction. This time, I didn't say anything. I just stared. I
Yeah,
found
it's
my
like the
eyes
Blue Man.
trying desperately to adjust to the darkness.
No,
After
it's
a moment,
black. You can't really see.
I could just make out the outline of the nearby truck. I attempted to comfort myself again by thinking it was just the homeless guy. Apart from the smoking, I'm actually in pretty decent shape, so unless the guy was
Why
a
would you
sumo
assume it's a
wrestler, I
homeless
figured
dude?
I could handle
Why
myself
is
in
that
a
your
fight.
first assumption? It could be anybody, just like a homeless dude.
That's
though?
when I saw
Why?
it.
Whoa.
There was a part of the truck that was much darker than the rest of the metal.
Strange photo.
The dark spot stretched from the ground to near the top of the trailer. The shadow was in the shape of a man. There was a person standing next to the truck, and they were facing me. My fight or flight instinct took over, and I found myself doing something I never thought I would do in that situation. I shouted at whoever it was. "You got
Dude,
a
this
problem,
sounds just
pal?"
like the Blue Man.
I said, trying to sound tough. I'm not sure what unnerved me more, the fact that it didn't respond or the fact that it remained motionless. For a brief moment, I thought the shadow that I was talking to was just some dark paint on the side of the truck.
What if it was
Right.
though?
Then it moved. I watched it
That
take a
was
slow
so
step
funny
towards me,
was.
and in that instant I almost screamed. The sudden movement made me jump back and thud against the door.
Oh God.
I felt my
Door
throat
sound.
constrict and my mind went blank.
Maybe blanch.
People always describe scary encounters as being frozen with fear.
Yeah.
It wasn't that I
that's
couldn't
normally
move.
it.
It was just, I couldn't remember how. I know it may sound
Well, that's what
strange, but I
happens.
genuinely couldn't remember the most basic of functions, such as
It's
blinking.
because your mind doesn't.
Watching
want to
this
remember
giant person
because
grow
you were
closer
in
to
such
me.
Shock.
Made me feel like I was shrinking. I felt my eyes begin to water in response to not blinking. When my eyes finally couldn't take it anymore, they shut. In that nanosecond, my eyes were closed. This thing had closed the distance to me and was now about 3 feet away. I could see it much
Oh.
more clearly now. Its body was
Okay, what was
tall,
it, though?
but incredibly thin, like this creature hadn't eaten in years. Its appendages were
so
equally
much
as
like
long
the
as
This
its
is
Blue
like
torso.
Man.
Slender Man.
The skin on its body was like charred
Right?
meat,
True.
almost like it was covered in ash. I didn't want to look up at its face,
That sounds
but
way
my
too
eyes
much like
drifted
the Blue
up
Man,
without
dude.
my
I'm sorry.
consent. Its
Why is
eyes
his
were paler than
phone
my
zooming
skin
in?
at that point. Seeing them up close, they almost glowed against the darkness. Its mouth was jagged and dripping some type of oozing liquid. What scared me the most was how utterly quiet it was, like it was some sort of hunter stalking its prey. Even at this distance, if I wasn't already aware of its presence, I probably wouldn't have seen it. Suddenly, it raised its bony arm towards me. The arm was almost long enough to reach me from where it stood. Whether it was instincts or watching too many martial arts movies, my brain suddenly came back online. I swatted its arm away and took off as fast as I could to get around the building. The entire time I sprinted around the building, I felt as if its fingers were grasping at the back of my neck. My lungs started to burn. I wanted to throw up. And if that thing touched me, I probably would have destroyed my pants. Rounding the corner, I crashed into a late-night customer's shopping cart, sending the contents flying.
Oh no.
I quickly scrambled to my feet and looked behind me. I was alone. Well,
were you?
alone with a very angry customer.
Oh no.
My supervisor was, for lack of a better word, pissed. He scolded me, replaced the products for the customer, and demanded an explanation. At the risk of blaming my situation on a monster, I told him I was simply locked out and ran around to the front. That I wasn't paying attention and ran into the customer accidentally. For the most part, I was technically telling the truth. I didn't stick around at that job for much longer. I ended up finding a decent desk job uploading sales data for a local company. It's a strict job and very boring, but the pay is great and I don't have to work at night. I'm not sure if it was just my bad luck that the creature came after me, or if it simply likes to hang outside of stores when it's completely dark outside. But I'll never go to a Walmart at 4 a.m. ever again.
I wouldn't either.
And I would advise you all to do the same.
Got you. Okay.
Well then, that was
so
different.
I mean, like, the thing itself was okay. I love creepypastas when they have music and sound effects because it makes it a lot more dramatic and it really does, like, get you more into the story. I heard the door opening and I could have sworn it was my door. It literally sounds like the combination of Blue Man and Slender Man. Because, like, the thing with, like, motionless and, like, talking to it and not responding, that sounds like Blue Man. Because, like, the myth of the original, like, origin of Blue Man, what was it? What was that phrase again? What was it? Of course, like, the whole tall thing and, like, no ominous thing obviously sounds like Slender Man as well, but, like, the charred skin? That also sounds like the Blue Man, because whenever you see him, it drives people crazy, and one of these people actually did burn himself to death over, like, seeing him. Overall, the one was not bad. I mean, it's definitely not worthy of a shit pasta, but it wasn't, like, the worst thing we've ever read.
Well, if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you do smack that like button down below. It really shows your support. Also, make sure you hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all of our current content. Also, you can hit that little bell icon to also get things sent to your email address when we upload, and to stay up to date whenever we make updates on our channel. Anyways, you guys,
if you have any requests, let us know.
Write it down in the comments. We check our comments every time we upload a video, so that way we know what everyone's talking about. We try and respond to every comment that we can. But anyways, you guys, thank you all for watching, and this has been SkyPig Gaming, signing off. Peace, guys.
Laters.